Welcome to another episode of SKST Radio. And we are slowly wrapping up International Women's Month. And I have my good friend back again. She goes by the name of Tammy Thomas. Welcome to
Hey,
the show.
hey, I'm back.
You're back, girl. I'm glad you're back too. Thank you for coming back. Yes. Okay, so we were learning about you and all the things that you're doing in the community. So for the new people who are just tuning in and not haven't had the opportunity to meet you, tell people who you are and what you do.
Well, I am Tammy Thomas, hence where's its name right there? Right
Yes,
there we go.
that name right
Tammy
there.
Thomas.
Yeah,
There
yeah.
you,
There you go. That did
and-
good. That was good. I can't do that. Oh, there you go.
there you go.
Tammy Grayson.
There
Ah, I
you
learned
go.
something.
There you go. Uh, it's okay, baby. My dog gets psyched out from the ambulance, but I am a actress, and I've been doing this for. I was 8 years old when I did my very first play in elementary school. That was called Kids Sing Praises, and so once I did that, I was hooked, and I never stopped. And I wrote my first screenplay back in 2011, and it was produced in 2013. And so once I did that, it's called Paradise House. So once I did that, I wrote some horror shorts and some sci-fis and then some dark comedy shorts. And then I wrote another full feature called The Rings That Bind Us.
I love
And
it.
yes, so
That's where I
that,
came in.
yes, yes. So The Rings That Bind Us. It was produced in Dallas. I have a home in Dallas. I also live in Atlanta, so I'm back and forth between the two states. I am also a traffic reporter, and I've been doing that now for going on 24 years.
Wow,
And
congratulations.
yes. So I started out in Dallas as a traffic reporter, and then I moved to New York, did it for a while in New York, and then came to Atlanta, where I am currently. And life is good. I will not complain. Even if I did, it wouldn't do me any good, right?
Right. Wouldn't do any of us any good. Be like,
No.
yeah, well, okay, now next. You got to keep going. You're a powerful woman, so you can't let that stuff
No,
bring you down.
no. You cannot, and I will not.
I
Right,
know, right?
right.
Okay, so
My calendar says choose to be happy. This today, March 25th. It says choose to be happy,
I
and
love that.
me too. And
I
so
love
that's
that.
what you got to do.
Yeah. You know what? I used to have some, well, actually, I still do have a couple left. I've had this magazine, like a Vogue magazine or something, and it
Mhm.
had these little strips of positive notes
Mhm.
and messages. And so, what I decided to do was to put them on my bathroom mirror.
Yeah,
And that really did help me for a little while until I
absolutely.
took them all off because
Yeah,
each day I would share it, right?
yeah.
And so I think I got like three left, and those were the ones that I wanted to keep for
Yeah,
myself.
right.
But yeah, take those little positive strips and then just give them to someone. It
Wow.
makes their day. It makes their
Yes,
day because it made
yes,
my day. So let me pass my day on to someone
absolutely.
else. So what you
Absolutely.
just said, that calendar thing, I think that's pretty cool.
I
That's
love
really
that
cool.
calendar. Yeah, yeah.
Oh man. So tell people, what are you doing now? What's going on in your life right now?
And right now, I am still writing. I'm in the process of writing a horror short film
Okay.
and getting the finances together to do that. Also, of course, the radio thing is every day, Monday through Friday, bright and early from 5:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. and then
Woo.
again from 3, I know, right? And then again from 3 p.m. to 6:44, 7 p.m. And that's split shift that we do, traffic reporters. That's something we do. I was introduced to that when I got into the world of radio. I never knew anything about split shift. So
Oh yeah.
that's what I do for my day job. And like I said, I am writing and getting ready to produce and get another short film financed. I am really hoping for the actors that I want for this one. I know, you know what? No, we're gonna put this into
They're coming.
existence. Speak this
Yeah.
into existence.
Yes,
So
they're
gonna
coming.
get the actors that I want for this, and also just doing little things around town,
Mhm.
and so to keep the artistic vision going. Gonna get a book club. Well, I had a book club, and so that kind of faded, and now it's a live interactive book club that I'm doing
Oh, that's
also,
cool.
that I'm going to start back doing. We did it, and then so yeah.
So let me ask you this about the book club. Just me being curious. Now, is a book club something you can do virtually?
Absolutely. That's what most people are doing now.
That's exactly what they're doing now, huh?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, I'm thinking book club. You know, I'm always thinking of a group. We're at the coffee shop or we're somewhere.
Now,
With,
that's the old school, and some people still go ahead and meet up for the book club physically at a
mhm.
brick and mortar, but my book club is
It's
all
virtual.
virtual.
Oh, I love it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I never thought about that though. And you know, I'm
Hmm.
like, hmm. I haven't
Yeah.
been in the book club in I don't know how many years.
Yeah, you need to go ahead and reconsider joining.
Yeah, that's something to think about. Yeah, absolutely.
Uh-huh.
Something to think about. Look at that hint. I see that hint. Oh my gosh. Okay, so come on, let's talk about look at the hint hint. Let's talk about your movie. Now, where are you filming this movie? Is it going to be in Texas or it's going to be in Atlanta?
Well, it's going to be in Texas. I don't know. So here's the deal. Texas offers incentives, and then Georgia offers different kinds of incentives. So we have to see what's going to work best. I love filming in Texas because Texas is my home, plain and
Hmm.
simple. And I
Hmm.
also have another actress that I'm really wanting, and then another actor, male performer that I really want. He is out of California.
Okay.
So it really would be more cost effective for us to go ahead and film in Dallas.
Okay.
So
You know,
that's where we're looking to film.
well, I can come to Dallas for a shoot and die. You know, I can die in one of the
You
scenes.
want to die in one?
I could die in one of the scenes, so that way I won't have to be there long.
See that's the problem. Black folk always dying, the first to die.
I could be the first black person to die. They always kill a black person first. Man,
Yeah, they do,
I
right?
could be that person. And like you like Lucy, I love Lucy had on the bottom of her shoes. This is Lucy.
Yeah, they, well, you just talked about
I
my
could be
girl. I love
dead
her
with
to
on the
death.
bottom of my shoe. That
And
was
then
scary.
Lucy Ricardo. Once you had Lucy, the other one had Ricardo on it because she couldn't get the hat thing together. She kept going. Love it.
Oh my
Don't
gosh.
get
So
me started on Lucy.
right. So I could be on your film and I could die I can die early. I don't mind dying early.
You know what?
You know.
Then, well, we're gonna have to talk about that. We're gonna have to talk about making that happen.
It's like, you know, I could be that nosy neighbor, you know, that's
You know
always
what?
into something.
You really could. You really could. And so,
What's all that
hmm.
noise going on over there? You know, right there, little line in there.
What y'all doing over there? Ooh.
Yeah, I'm calling the police right
And then an arrow. No, but it just like I said, excuse me, it depends on it. We love filming in Dallas, and so what we do is we usually film shorts in Georgia, right here in Atlanta, and
now.
then do our full features in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
But we may have to do a switcheroo because I also have another full feature that I would like to do as well, but that's kind of on the back burner
Right.
for now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let me know so I can get my little flight. So I want to go home anyway, and so
When do
this
you want to go home?
I want to go home. I don't know. I want to go home before the summer ends.
Mhm.
I want to go home before the summer ends. I really do.
Yeah.
I haven't been in Texas in since COVID. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
they locked
Yeah.
us out,
Yeah.
and I hadn't had a chance to go back home.
Mhm.
So that would be really nice to go see everyone. You
Right.
know, to go see my
Absolutely.
family, my friends that I haven't seen in I don't know how long,
Absolutely.
and so that would be really cool.
Yeah. So shoot, I get home. I get home uh like 4 times a year.
Oh,
Three
that's
to four
good.
times a year. Yeah. Oh
That's
yeah.
good.
I can't stay away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Well,
got so many of my people there, so
yeah. Well, it's kind of hard now because now that we have the studio and I'm still working full time, and then I have the studio. We
mhm,
have a full-fledged studio with 4 studios now,
mhm.
and then we have the office, the executive offices we just opened up, and so I've been busy, and
And
you
you
know what I
have to
mean?
oversee that.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
been really busy. Now, DJ T Nice is in San Antonio, Texas. So
Okay.
he's in
Oh,
Texas too, and so he does a lot of the engineering of the shows
on his.
remotely.
Don't you just love it? Love the fact that we can do things virtually and we can have friends and family doing things from all over the world.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That is the glory of technology. I used to hate technology. I
me
didn't
too.
embrace technology. I'm starting just now starting to embrace it now. But before, I hated it. I didn't want anything to do with it. But okay, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so, but I had to stop demonizing it and just
yeah,
know that some of it is actually being used for good because
yeah,
I felt like it was disconnecting us in a sense, especially the text messaging and the email instead of
yeah.
people picking up the phone to call. That's all that they're only going by words,
Right, right.
typing words and not verbalizing things. So that's what got me about it. But with this right here, the Skyping and the Zoom and uh, Google Video and all of that,
Hmm.
I'm loving that because it allows you to do so much and so
Yeah,
much versatility.
yeah. I mean, when we were in Texas and we were doing SKST radio,
Mhm.
actually we're celebrating 31 years. The 20th of March made our 31st year.
Congratulations!
Thank you.
Get the
Yeah, thank you.
yeah, congratulations.
So between,
Woo!
off and on, but being consistent and trying to keeping it going,
Yeah.
um, it came up on our LinkedIn. It was like
Wow.
31 years. Everybody was congratulating me, and I'm like, what are they congratulating me for? And then it dawned on me that March 20th is my favorite day of the whole world, and
Wow.
I started the business on March 20th. I wrote my first book on March 20th. Everything positive happened. I did my first stage play March 20th.
Wow.
And so, but it was March 20th, and everybody was congratulating me, and I'm thinking, what is going on? Well, come to find out, it's Special K Specialties
Mhm.
31st anniversary. And so I was
That
like,
is
oh,
amazing.
let me embrace this a little bit because I never would have remembered. I never would have thought about it because you
Mhm.
just do it, right? You
Yeah,
don't,
absolutely.
you just do it. And
And
so we've been
sometimes
doing,
you're not really paying so much attention to the date. You're
yeah,
just doing it, making things happen. So,
yeah,
and
so
I'm bad about that myself too.
yeah,
Dates. Oh Lord.
yeah.
Oh, I'm bad about that.
So, but yeah, I mean, so we got to keep going. We got to keep going. And this is what keeps me going. This is my
Yeah.
happy spot.
Good.
And so when I'm here, I'm happy. I really am.
Absolutely.
This is stuff I love doing, and I've been doing it for years, and I wouldn't change it for the world.
Don't. Don't. I love to see people who have a niche and they take their talents and they use them for good and it's their outlet. You know what I mean? Because we
Hmm.
can get in this huge rut
Hmm.
and go to work, we go home, shower, go to bed, and do it all over again.
Yeah.
Repeat. We're just living on repeat
Hmm.
or
Groundhog Day.
autopilot.
Yeah.
Autopilot. And so it's good to always have that outlet instead of just because that's a lot of times contributes to the autopilot contributes to our discontentment
Hmm.
and unhappiness. So
Yeah.
that's why I always say, have your hobby and don't always be fixated on money, 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 money,
Yeah.
money,
Yeah.
money. And I know
You know
that
what?
we can't.
Money's not everything. It's
Yeah,
not
exactly.
everything.
It is not, and all money ain't good money either. So also got to remember that as well. So
Yeah. Yeah.
so
Yes. Absolutely.
yeah. Mhm.
Absolutely. And so, anyway, we're just shooting the breeze. I know it, girl. But people want to learn about you, not me.
Well, I mean, listen, listen. It's pretty much. Oh gosh, I've had a very long career. So what? I was 8 years old, 28, 30. I'm horrible at math. 20, 30, 48. So I'm going on my 31 years. I've been in the business.
Hmm.
So same thing as you,
Well,
31 years. So
congratulations to you too.
thank you so much. So in film, television, theater, I started out in theater and
Same here.
yes. And so I got the bug very early in theater. The theatrical performances are so wonderful,
Yes.
and I've had the the wonderful beauty and opportunity of playing a whole wide range of characters, a whole wide range of genres. I mean, we're
Mhm.
talking Western, we're talking about the Renaissance period, we're
Oh,
talking
wow.
about, yeah, period. I love period pieces, okay? I
Mhm.
mean, that's obvious. So, I've had the opportunity to play an array of characters. I was in, I don't know if you know, Teatro Dallas Coro Cordona. She directed me in Black Butterfly and Chloroform. And so I
Okay.
played Poirot's mother. I played the La Catrina, which was so much fun. The skeleton. So that was a lot of fun. And these are characters. And when I think back on it, these are some great opportunities because sometimes I would get a little down and depressed when things were slow, and
Right.
that's what happens
Yeah,
with
it
actors. Yeah,
yeah, it does. Yeah.
yeah, and so when things would get slow, I would remind myself, God did that for you before, He can do it again, but
Mhm.
you have to get up and do the work. So, because when we get down, a lot of times, I know for me myself, I'm kind of paralyzed with disgust and I don't want to do anything. I don't feel like I can do anything. But you got to get up. You got to keep going.
Yeah.
You cannot let setbacks be um, the
Yeah.
end all.
Breaker. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you have to continue to do that. And so I have to remind myself every day, if he did it before, he can do it again.
Do it again.
So
Exactly.
I yeah, so I'm doing dinner theaters also again
Oh, I
now.
love
I was
that. I
doing,
used to
yeah,
always want to do that. I used to
yeah,
always want to do that, like
yeah,
a mystery theater
yeah.
type thing. Yeah,
Murder mystery
I
dinner
just
theaters.
always
So
want to do that.
I did those back in, oh Lord, the '90s.
That's
And
when they were
we
popular.
did one.
Yes.
Yeah, we did. I did one back in Granbury, Texas, with a group. And let me tell you, Cami, when I tell you, it was so much fun. It was a showboat. It was a
Hmm.
double decker. So we would perform the first scene, first course downstairs, and
Hmm.
then we'd perform the first scene, first course upstairs, and then come back down and perform the second course, second scene. And so we would just go
Vice
back and
versa.
forth,
Oh,
back
that
and
is
forth.
so cool.
A lot of work, but it was so much fun.
Yeah.
So I'm getting back into that. And don't ever say what you'll never do again,
Yeah.
because I thought I was done with that and now I'm back doing it
Back ready
again.
to.
Right? So don't ever say what you won't ever do again,
Yeah,
because you
because you
never know.
never know. You never know.
Exactly.
You never know.
Exactly.
So let me ask you, do you know Kevin Halliburton?
I don't.
You don't. Okay.
Where would I know him from?
He was he was w- he was pretty good. He was a singer. He was a triple threat, pretty much.
Okay. Okay.
And he was doing theater in Dallas, and I just knew he knew just about everyone in those circles because he
Hmm.
was so good. He was
Hmm.
so good. I mean, I used to manage him actually.
You
I
did.
did artist management for a little while, and I managed him. And he, oh my gosh, theater! You're talking about tearing the house down.
Wow.
We used to, Curtis King.
Oh, of course.
Of
Who
course,
doesn't know
Curtis King.
Curtis King?
So we used to do like shows there. My first play was at the convention center. My very first play was there.
Yes.
And Fred
Okay.
Hammond
Okay.
came, and it was just wonderful. I mean, your very first stage play, and to
Uh-huh.
have big heavy hitters come to your play. Pastor
Right.
Haynes came. I mean, it was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. My
Wow.
very first play. And so I had the support. In Dallas, you just friends and family, they support you. They really do
Yes,
when it comes to
absolutely.
the
And so,
art.
okay, so you see, that's why we love to film in Dallas.
I get it. I totally get it. I
You know,
totally get it. And so, and then there's a whole lot like Ron Clemens. Do you know Ron? Ron Clemens is a great actor. I need to put you in touch with him. He's a
okay.
very good art. He was my this poor boy. He used to say, "Y'all buy Cammy's book so she can pay me."
Yeah. Oh, you know what, Cammy? It bees that away sometimes. Sometimes when we have a dream and we have a vision, we got to have the right people in our corner who will help us out with that,
Oh
because
yeah.
let's face it, we can't always afford to do things. And I'm coming from both an actor perspective and a content creator's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And so I know my first movie, and I was bound and determined to pay people because I was the type of person, I was an actor, so I know how it was. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't pay people very much at all. I
Hmm.
mean, we're talking about,
Yeah. Hey,
gas
it was
money
something.
and
Yeah.
lunch. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's about all I could afford. But I had great people who were behind me. I had wonderful people who were behind me. They supported me and they did an outstanding job because they had a love of the arts and they had a love for me.
Hmm.
So that it beats that away sometimes. I've, of course, we've
Yeah.
all done things for free.
Hmm.
So
Oh yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah,
I have so many great. I did some stuff under Shelley Garrett just so I
yeah.
can
I
learn,
remember you telling me that.
so I can learn how to do my own stage play.
Mhm.
So you learn from people, and then when you are out there, people see what you're doing, and they
Right.
don't mind helping you. They don't
Exactly.
mind
Exactly.
showing you the ropes. They don't mind
Exactly.
um, they don't mind helping you make it happen. When they got a
Exactly.
big name like they have,
Mhm.
what harm is it to say, hey, Cammy, you do this work for me,
Mhm.
you do this grunt work for me, then
Yeah.
in exchange, you'll get the knowledge of how to do this. And I don't
Mhm.
mind doing that. And that's kind of how we do here at the studio.
Yeah.
We're fully staffed. Well, not fully staffed. We need a receptionist, um, but as far as the team, we got
Mhm.
T Nice, we got Dr. Ron, and we got Arthur, and
Mhm.
between the four of us, we make it happen.
Absolutely, and that's what you have to do. And you know what? Keep it professional. People will definitely appreciate professionalism.
Yes,
So,
absolutely.
even if you don't have a whole bag of stack of cash to give
Hmm.
people, people will always appreciate professionalism and food.
Food, yeah. Yeah.
That was the thing. My mother, God bless her, my mother catered all my films.
Oh, that's good.
And so she was dynamite. She's an excellent cook. So when I had her catering, oh, people were definitely like, oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah. At
this
least
is
we're
the
gonna
real
eat
deal.
good.
Yeah, yeah. So if you can't pay people well, at least feed them good.
Feed them at
So
least, at
yeah,
least. And
yeah,
and that's only fair.
yeah,
I had some guys not too long ago, and hey, what do y'all want for lunch?
yeah.
Just they were painting. They were painting the offices. And
Hmm.
what do you want for lunch? I didn't mind making sure that they ate well because they were
Absolutely.
working, so
Absolutely.
you're absolutely right. That
Yeah,
helps a whole lot if you can feed them and their stomach not growling while they're working for you.
exactly. Exactly. So that will always be you'll always get brownie points when you are professional and you feed people.
Yeah, at least you
So
know that Cammy's gonna feed you, if nothing else.
there you go.
Yeah, got
There.
it.
Mhm.
Got it. So
Mhm.
Tammy, okay, so now that you know what you got going on,
Mhm.
you're working on your book, your movie, sorry. You're
Mhm.
working on your movie and you got all this other stuff. You get the book club going. And so what is the main goal for Tammy? What makes Tammy happy?
Continuing to do content creations and doing it well. I uh, you know, let me tell you something. When I first moved to Atlanta, my goal was to be famous.
Hmm.
And I learned, it took me a bit to learn that you're in it for the wrong reasons. If you want, even though I'd been in it for many, many years, you're in it
Hmm.
for the wrong reasons if fame and fortune is your number one goal, because sometimes that's just not going to happen.
Right.
But my main goal now, what I learned, is to continue to be a working artist, a working creative. And creative is an actor, creative is a writer, creative is I'm loving the book club. You know what I mean? Because
Mhm.
that's creativity and it's live. And so it is. it's something that I am passionate about. Continue to do the things that you're passionate about. So that is my ultimate goal to continue to be a working creative
Hmm.
and don't focus on the fame and fortune,
Right.
but
It's,
focus on
it will
being
come
consistent.
eventually. It will come
Exactly.
eventually. It will,
Exactly.
really will. So,
Mhm.
what do you need from other people right now? What do you need to get yourself going?
I need other creatives who have the same mind frame. Let me tell you what I also love doing is cosplay. And I started doing that about 4 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
thanks to my dear friend and partner, Bob Carter. And so he got me into the world of cosplaying,
Mm-hmm.
and that is something that I have been able to do. I absolutely love it. You go to these conventions, you dress up in costume, you
Mm-hmm.
don't have to learn lines, you don't have to, you don't have to show up on time. You just get there when you
Get
get
there.
there. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
exactly.
You get
Yeah.
there in character, and that's the fun of it all. And so any of that. So I am really wanting to continue because that's what we did with my book. That's what we do. I'm not saying did, that's in past tense and it's going
Mm-hmm.
to happen again. But that's what we do in the book club. We also dress in the characters in the
Oh,
book that we're reading.
cool. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So that is something that I really want to get off the ground again and
Mhm.
keep it moving again while I do these other things.
I love it. Absolutely love it. So you're like nonstop. You're like dynamite. You just don't stop. You're the
I
Energizer
I
Bunny.
I try, Cami. I try. You know what I'm saying? There are, like I said, there are dry periods where you're just trying to figure it out,
Mm-hmm.
and you're just trying to say, okay, what next? What do I do next? And so, that's the thing. You have to keep it moving,
Yeah.
and you can't let your mind get idle because we
Mm,
know what an idle mind
yeah. Well, let me ask you this: put with your director's hat on.
is. Hmm.
So now, do you look for other materials outside your own writing, or do you stick to your own guns?
I mostly stick to my own guns, and the reason being is so that we can keep it safe because there are a lot of dynamics when you go with other artists writing and their work and their vision.
Hmm.
So I try to stick to my own. However, that's not to say that I would not be open to producing other another writer's screenplay, because I love producing other people's books,
Hmm.
with the book. I love doing that. So that has opened my mind to doing that with a screenplay.
No, I love it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. Okay, so and we might have touched on this before,
Mhm.
but for this show, we're going to touch on it again,
Okay,
if you
okay,
don't
okay,
mind.
okay.
So
Hit
now
me.
I have okay. So my book is not formatted for screenplay.
Right.
Okay, so I had a company, Blue Dot, reach out to me for my book in order to shop it, and but the condition was they needed for me to format it in play what do you call it, screenplay. They needed me to format it in
Screenplay.
screenplay, and I did not know how to do that. I write stage plays, I do this,
Yeah.
I do that, and do that, but I did not know how to do that.
I didn't either. And you know how you learn how to do it? You do it.
Yeah, I was about to say now, I found apps and things like that,
You
but
you
that
do
was a
it.
challenge and it scared me. It
And it is scary. However, you just have to do it. See, a thing of it is when when we fear something, it paralyzes us.
Mhm,
But not until we just go ahead and do it do we see, hey, you know what? This is not as hard as I thought it would be, or this is not as hard as I made it out to be. Because I had never written, not everyone has to start somewhere, right?
right,
And
right.
I'd never written a screenplay back in 2011 when I was writing Paradise House.
Mhm,
Never. Never. That was my very first screenplay that I had ever written. And it was not in screenplay form. I didn't have that software. I just looked at a screenplay and said, okay, so this is how you write this. This is how you do this. This is how you do that.
Mhm.
So I said, okay, well, I'll just copy the formatting that they have on here with my regular Google document. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Mhm.
And so that's what I did. And so I showed it to my very good friend, Kelly Gray Bobineau. And because she's a big time producer in Dallas, she is a producer's dream woman. Okay. And so I gave the script to her, and she said she took me by the hand like she does everybody. And so she said, this is what you need to do. This is how you need to do it. And she gave me step by step instructions on what to do. And
Mhm.
she helped produce this from start to finish.
Wow, that's
So,
amazing.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, she worked it out.
Yeah.
And
Well,
she helped me, and so that's how Paradise House was born.
yes.
So so the thing to do is just to do it. Look at other screenplays. Get
Mhm.
that software,
Mhm.
because that software is very well. Certain ones are very user friendly. More Some are more user friendly than others.
Mhm.
So get that software. That
Yeah,
software is going to
I
tell you
mean,
exactly what
the
to do.
opportunity might come up again, so I'm just like,
Yeah.
"Huh, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it,"
Yeah.
because I was afraid, and the window was so short too, though. I mean, it was
Oh
less
yeah.
than, yeah, it was, I wanna say 2 weeks. They gave me
Seriously.
2 weeks to turn my whole entire book into a screenplay, and so I reached out to an actor who
Mhm.
writes, who this is what he does,
Mhm.
and he charged me just to give me the name of the program.
Okay. Well.
So, and
Okay.
by the time I found the software that he was talking about, it dawned on me what had happened, and I'm like, wow, my feelings started being hurt. It was like, well, wait a minute,
Oh
you
man.
charged me just to give me a name of a software when I could have just Googled it myself.
Uh huh. You could have asked me.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It was before you.
Okay.
It
Gotcha.
was before. It was right. Well, actually, no, it wasn't before you. It was right around the time I met you.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was right around the time I met you.
Yeah. And there are several complementary. I hate to use the word FREE because nothing in this world is
Is
FREE.
FREE.
Okay.
Exactly.
You've either already paid for it or you're going to pay for it. Okay. In
Exactly.
some form or fashion. But there are plenty of complementary software tools out there that you can use. They're not going to have all the dynamics that the ones you pay
Hmm.
several, lots of bucks for. They're not
Hmm.
going to have all the dynamics, but they are going to have the basic things that you need
Hmm.
to get the job done. They
Yeah.
will get the job done
Exactly.
because I
Exactly.
used the one that was complimentary
Hmm.
and I still use it. I still use it. Oh, I'm serious.
Yeah.
And it gets the job done,
Yeah.
you
Well,
know?
when you don't
and
know,
and
you
and you're great, and a great producer is also going to know how to get the job done and know how to tell you how to
how
tweak
to do
that script. And
exactly.
any and see, all of these producers who have done a number of films, they're going to know all these softwares, whether they're free or for profit.
Right.
So they're going to know these, and they're going to tell you this is what you need to do, this is how you need to do it. They're going to know all that stuff.
Yeah. And then the crazy thing, Tammy, about this whole situation with Cammy with her crazy self, I'm interviewing movie directors every week.
Mhm.
So
You can ask.
I didn't,
But you know what? You live and you learn. You live and you learn.
and
Don't
that's
beat
the
yourself
crazy
up.
thing. It
Don't
was
beat yourself
just
up.
right there. I mean, it's like,
Yeah, in your face.
didn't
Hmm.
even, I mean, a whole year I'm interviewing
Yeah.
different movie directors, movie actresses, I mean, just all kinds of film people,
Hmm.
and never dawned on me to ask that question during my interviews.
Hmm. Yeah.
So, like you said, live and you learn.
You live and you learn.
Yeah.
Celtics.
Yeah.
CELTX.
CEL.
Celtics is a Celtics is a part of Final Cut. which
Mm-hmm.
is the most popular screenwriting software. Final Cut Pro. Celtics is CELTX,
Got
right?
it.
Celtics.com. Yeah, just Google it and it'll give you, but I'm pretty sure it's CE. I look at it every day and I'm still CELTX, and it is a it's a knockoff
Mm-hmm.
from Final Cut, but it's I think they're the same brand. I
Yes.
used to have Final Cut, but I had to stop paying for that because well,
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that.
absolutely.
Yeah. And so, but I guess since I missed the deadline, I just kind of womp womp. You know what I
But
mean?
those, just like film festivals, those opportunities come back around, and if it's not with the same company, it'll be with a different company.
Yeah. Yeah. And
So just
so,
know that.
yeah. And so, how big is the Blue Dot Company? Is it a
I
company that
I am not familiar with Blue
you're
Dot.
not familiar with them?
I will be
Okay.
very honest with you and tell you I'm not familiar with them.
Okay. And so I looked them up and I saw a lot of different celebrities that I
Okay.
recognize,
Okay.
different people I recognize. And so it
Yeah, you
just,
got to do your homework.
oh,
You
yeah,
got
yeah.
to yeah, do background checks on these companies and people because they're not always legit. So,
And so, hold on, we got there you go.
what's that?
Someone left us a message.
Ah, thank
Thank you. We
you.
appreciate
Mwah, mwah, mwah,
it.
mwah, 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 mwah.
So, but yeah, yeah, it's interesting. Now, if I would have known this then, you know what I mean? I would have felt more confident
Yeah,
knowing what I was doing and things like that. But I was all excited. I was all nervous.
of course, of
Somebody's
course.
interested in my book, turning it into a movie, and they were just like all kinds of stuff. That they let me read over the contract and how they were going to shop it, and just all kinds of stuff. And so I was so excited. And when I didn't make that deadline, oh, it was the end of my world. It was the end of my world for about
That
a couple of
deadline
days.
is a little, that was a little unrealistic. 2 weeks?
2 weeks. 2 weeks. But I'm sure now, this is the thing. I'm sure they thought I could do what we were just discussing when I didn't. That wasn't even part of, that's to me, that's cheating if you're using a software to do stuff. And
Why?
so I never would have thought to do that. I'm like you now at this point. I was like, okay, so I got to figure out how to do this formatting. I have to figure out, all this stuff. And so my book is, even though it's published, I still have like the whole manuscript, right?
Yeah.
So how am I going to go through this whole manuscript and change all this stuff? So in my
Mhm.
mind, I made it bigger than what it
Yeah.
really was.
Right. And that's what we do. We overthink things.
And that's what happened. I was like,
Yeah.
and so then that's when I was
Get in
reaching
our
out.
head. Yeah.
Yeah, I kept it was here. It was
Yeah.
here. And I'm like nervous and now I have this deadline and this is something I really would really never thought about, but would
Mhm.
love to pursue it, at this point.
Mhm.
And so, but being a movie director and this is your world, I mean, to see it a rookie, fumbling for stuff. Now you can just like your friend did to you,
Mhm.
this is this, like what you just did to me. I
Mhm.
mean, so now you're a pro at calming other people down now. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
kind of like
because
it's not as
it's
big.
really it's really not as hard as you think it is. You
Mm,
just have to do it. And
yeah.
that's what I have learned. You just have to do it because every every opportunity you don't take, you won't get.
Mm,
So
like that.
you gotta just do it. Like Nike. That's why I
I was
love.
about to
I'm a
say the
Nike.
Nike check.
That's why I'm a Nike woman. I wear Nike shoes. That's all I buy is Nike tennis shoes, Nike
Love it.
sneakers. I'm a Nike
Just
girl.
do it.
So just do it. And
Just do
if you mess up, that's okay. And a
it.
lot of times we think that's the end of the world if we mess up. It's not. If you mess up, that's okay.
Oh
I know
well.
because, like I said, my very first screenplay, I gave that to them in just like my Google sheet stuff that I wrote. I
Right.
did. I did. And the director tried to say, well, this isn't in screenplay format. I said, okay, well, what screenplay format? And so Yeah, and so he said, "Well, it's dot da 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 da." I said, "Okay, well, how do I get dot da 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 da?" And so finally, because sometimes you gotta pull stuff out of
Our
people.
people, yeah, because they think you should know, you know.
Exactly, exactly. And so I'm just like, okay, newsflash, this is my first. So, see, I get people back when y'all try to make me look like I'm stupid.
You
I
flip it.
throw that stuff back to you, you know, and I make you look like you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah,
You see what I'm saying?
I love it.
Because I will not, and I repeat, I will not be intimidated.
There you go.
Better recognize, you better understand who you're dealing with.
Right? I love it. Absolutely love it. Okay, so give us some positive women, people who influenced you down your pathway.
Well, first and foremost, my mother, Cheryl Thomas. My mother was one of the classiest, most sophisticated, cultural being on the planet. When I was a little girl, my mother was taking me to classical plays and concerts, rather.
Right.
I went to the opera in the sixth grade. Now, this was with my school group, but she made sure she bought a beautiful dress. It was royal blue and black. I'll never forget that dress. And she made sure that I went to that to discover. And this was Othello. That was a very first Shakespeare play that
Othello.
I did, and it was an opera.
Mhm.
And so she would take me to movies. Cami, we saw every movie that came out. We saw Star Wars. She took me to see Ferris Bueller's Day Off. We saw Adventures in Babysitting, Boys in the Hood. My mom took me to see just about every movie there was when I was growing up. So many of them.
Mhm.
And so that was the first person that inspired me. Another person that inspired me were my elementary school teachers. And what Miss Joanne, that we called them by their first name back then in the
Mhm.
elementary school I went to because it was a very small private school. And so there was Sister Sharp, there was Miss Joanne, there was Miss Michelle, there was Miss Janice. So all of them inspired me. It wasn't a bunch of celebrities that did that. These were people who were in my life. My auntie
Mhm.
Charlotte, my aunt Nick, my grandmother, of course. Lord have mercy, Lula Jackson. That's who my character in Paradise House. That's who I named my character after, my grandmother, Lula
Oh
Jackson.
wow.
Yes. So those ladies inspired me, and they, God rest my grandmother's soul, but they continue to inspire me, and they continue to be the people that I look up to, you know,
Yeah.
um, as far as men are concerned. Now, growing up, and my Uncle Bill, he was instrumental in my life. I called him Uncle Bill. His name is Sean, but I got that from a family affair. I
I
used to
live
call,
there, Uncle
yeah,
Bill.
yeah,
I was
yeah,
gonna
Uncle
say
Bill.
everybody has an Uncle Bill,
Uncle Bill.
William, Bill.
So
Okay,
yeah,
but he
so
wasn't a real Uncle Bill.
yeah, Uncle Bill. So but as far as celebrities, I'm gonna have to say one that has really inspired me is Byron Allen, because that man is doing his thing, okay, and
Always have.
he's got networks, he's got things going for the African American community, he's got things going for the community in general, the betterment of artists. I just saw Paradise House on the Griot channel, so I was extremely excited about that.
Nice.
And so that's that's who I have.
I love it. Absolutely
Yeah.
love it. So
Yeah. Oh, and
now,
my mom. Oh, and another thing about my mom, the reason she
okay.
inspires me so much.
But
My mother was.
besides her being like the best cook ever.
Oh my lord. Yes. But she read to me every night before I went to bed. Every night,
Oh,
she would read to me every night, and that is. I don't mean to brag, but I was an exceptional reader in elementary school. I didn't do well in school, but if I didn't do anything else well, I
you
read
could
well.
read.
I mean, I would read better than anybody in my classes,
Well,
and this was in what, first grade, second grade, third, all the grades.
And see, and that's why you became a writer.
Right.
This is why.
And my love for cinema,
Hmm.
because mom and I would go to a movie probably twice a week. As a matter of fact, I remember Star Wars was sold out. I was only when it came out, I was only 4, and I do remember this. It was sold. The 7 o'clock show was sold out, and so she stayed. We stayed in the parking lot. She had a blanket for me, and I took a nap. She took me in to see the midnight show.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Y'all were determined to see that movie. That's so cool.
yeah.
That is
That's the
so
kind of
cool.
stuff that my mom and I would do. She would do with me is make sure that I saw movies, 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 movies.
Wow.
We saw Romancing the Stone. We saw Raiders of the Lost Ark. I mean, just all of them.
Oh my gosh. Sound like y'all had a lot of
We
fun.
did.
Had a lot of fun.
We did. I had a
That's
great
cool.
childhood. She was strict, but hey,
She made up for it with the
yeah,
others. Yeah,
yes, she did. Yes, she did.
absolutely. Well, Miss Tammy, I cannot wait to meet you in person.
I know we need to do that.
We
I know.
do, we do. I want to come to Atlanta. I know we talked about this before. I want to come to Atlanta pretty soon, this summer for sure. I do want to go. I'm just going to drive down, um,
Hmm.
let the top down, and just hit the highway.
It's the highway. That's what I always do. I do a lot of driving because plane tickets are so expensive.
Now, how long is the trip from Atlanta to Dallas driving?
12 hours.
17? How many?
12 hours.
12? Okay.
Mhm. So
So,
you're going to go through 3 states. You're going to go through first. The first one is Mississippi. No, what is it? No, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, and then
then
Dallas. I
Texas.
mean
Yeah, okay.
Texas.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. I kind of got my bearings.
Yeah.
Because, I lived in New Orleans before. That's how I got my traveling ticket. I left Dallas. I never left Dallas, never lived outside of Dallas before in my life. And I
Oh.
decided my kids are grown. This is time for me to do what I want to do. So I packed up my little truck and I moved to Houston. That was a long
Okay.
way, 3 hours
Uh
to
huh.
Houston. That's a long
Yeah.
ride.
Yeah. Right.
Then a girlfriend that lives in New Orleans for my radio show, she was on my radio show every week
Mhm.
and she would call in and I always kept saying I want to go to New Orleans. So she goes, Cammy, you need to come to New Orleans. You always said you wanted to come to New Orleans. Come to New
Mhm.
Orleans.
Mhm.
So I got my little white truck again, packed up my little stuff again, and I moved to New Orleans. And I stayed there for 5 years in
Wow.
Louisiana. And so left there. Then my job moved me to um, Kansas City.
Mhm.
Stayed in Kansas City for a year. And then they moved me from Kansas City to Virginia.
Wow.
And I've been here 5 years now. Close your eyes, and another year has passed. So I've been here 5 years.
Wow.
Yes.
You have done your thing.
Hey, this is life. And so when I
Yes.
first moved here, I caught the train and I went to New York. I've never been to New York.
Uh-huh.
And then I
It went great. It was woo.
it was crazy,
Oh
but
yeah.
it was fun. It was scary because I was by myself pretty much.
Oh, the first time I went to New York, I was by myself, honey. I stayed
So
in
on the train,
Manhattan.
yeah. So I did that, but I had
Mhm.
friends there, so they were,
Okay.
I was able to see my friends once I got there. And then after that, I went to North Carolina. What do you call it? Myrtle Beach. Went to
Mhm.
Myrtle Beach for the first time, and then I went to Atlanta.
Wow.
And it was shut down though; it was locked down during that time, and I was able to see Tyler Perry Studios from the gate.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's. But I went to this one place. I keep saying International Market. I don't know if that was the real name of it, but I had so much fun. There was all these
Yes.
different vendors and people.
Yeah. That's always
It
so
was
much fun.
so cool. Different
Yeah.
nationalities, and
Mhm.
it was just so cool. And
Yeah.
we lived. I want to say we were downtown because the hamburger place, the Wahlbergs. What is it? The actor, um,
Oh, Wahlberg.
the
Donnie
Wahlberg.
Wahlberg. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we were right there at the hotel next to his hamburger place downtown.
Okay. All right. I've never been to that. I've never
So
been to
yeah, it was good. It
that.
was
Okay.
good. Yeah.
Okay.
So but anyway, that's my little life in a nutshell. So I got
So
to
you
get back down to see you.
yes, you do. You're very well traveled.
Yeah. I
You've
mean,
lived
I'm
in a
getting
bunch of
there
places.
anyway. getting there anyway. I mean,
Oh, you're
as far
there.
as laying my hat. Now,
Hmm.
as far as vacations, all my vacations are usually at a beach somewhere. And now I'm like 3 blocks from the beach.
Uh,
So
yeah,
my staycation is I still have my staycation going on.
that is all right. That's
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah.
So where next
Where
do you,
next? I
yeah,
don't know. I keep thinking about that. I keep
have
thinking,
you
is this the stop? Is this where I
thought
want
about
to?
it? Okay.
Yeah, is this where I want to settle? I don't think so. You know, I think I want to get this studio up
Hmm.
and going where I don't have to be here and everybody, when we just open up another studio in another state,
Yeah.
and I think
Yeah.
that's the direction that we're going in because we're already all over the world anyway right now.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
so I think,
Dream big.
yeah, that's where we are.
Yeah.
So at least when I die, you can say, "Ooh, wait a minute, here you go, here you go." At least when I die, you'll say, "Ooh, Cammy died with a smile on her face because she did it. She had her fun."
She did her thing.
There you go.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
girl, I
I love
enjoyed
it.
this girl talk. You are so sweet.
Ah, thank you so
This is
much.
so
And
much
so are
fun.
you. And I always have fun
Yeah,
talking to you.
me too. Me too. That's why I
Yeah.
said the fun does not stop.
No,
I'm
it
here if you
doesn't.
need me.
Absolutely.
And so just know that. I
Absolutely.
mean, people say
Yeah.
that. I mean it. I mean, I'm not just saying it just
Yeah.
because it's the show or whatever. I'm saying if you need me, I'm here for you.
Well, you know what? Don't you be surprised if I'm in your inbox again. So,
Not at all. Come on. Come on. So even if you need that little trip to the beach,
ha 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 ha
I
ha.
have an extra umbrella and a chair. So
Yes, I love the beach. No, I would go
see.
to Brooklyn Beach all the time. Coney Island when I lived in New York, I would
Oh
go over there
wow.
all
So
the
I
time,
didn't get to
and I
see
would go a
that.
lot of times by myself, just to have some peaceful, just peace, and just go because it was so beautiful. Because you had
Oh,
Coney Island, and then you had at the other end Brooklyn Beach. They were the same but different, and
mhm.
I would do that a lot of times. And so I
Oh, I love.
lived on Flatbush Avenue,
Okay.
in Brooklyn. Yeah. So take the Q train into Manhattan, and I worked in Rockefeller Plaza, Rockefeller Center for a little while,
Okay. I've seen that.
and I also, yeah, and I was also in a play in Harlem. So I would get off from work and
Nice.
then have to go to Harlem and go to rehearsals, and
So I
yeah,
saw the Apollo. I saw the
yeah,
St.
yeah,
Thomas Apollo. I mean,
yeah.
I had fun when I was there, girl. I saw
Did you
everything to
rub
do
that
with.
tree trunk? Because the first thing I had to do was rub that.
Oh yeah, you got
Oh,
to.
I got
Yep,
it.
you have to. And
Yeah.
so, but I saw everything. I had was a cheesecake from one of those famous
Yeah,
places there.
juniors, juniors.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
That is a
So
staple, and that's a must see. Well, must go to
yeah,
for
yeah,
everybody who goes to New York. Juniors, because they have the world's best cheesecake.
yeah. And they
So,
really do. It was
hmm
so good. It
it's
was
yummy.
so
It's
good.
it's rich.
Oh yeah, you can only eat like a couple of bites at a time.
Not me. I ate the whole thing. Listen, I don't play with my cheesecake.
Oh baby, oh my gosh. You're so funny. Okay, girl. Well, we're gonna call it a night. Tammy, thank you so much for being on the show,
Thank
and
you
you
for
are
having
welcome
me.
anytime. You got any projects that you want us to help promote? Feel free. We'll do the trailer like we did before. And we got you, girl.
Thank you so much, Cami, and I will definitely remember that, and I will keep you updated on this horror.
Yes, because I don't mind dying.
I
All right,
got you.
guys. This was Tammy. Tammy, tell people how to get in touch with you before we go.
You can go to Tammy Thomas 5833 and follow me on Instagram. And you can also follow me on Facebook. I always forget my Facebook address because somebody else created it. So
Oh,
just look for me on
just
there.
look for her. And
I have an
she's
AI picture. I have an AI. For my profile picture is AI. It's an AI generated picture. You know how they do that now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, I'm
So
the queen of AI right now. So
okay,
yeah, I'm the
yeah,
queen of
yeah.
AI right now. So there you
Yeah,
go.
so I mean, Facebook, you can, follow me on Facebook, Instagram. I only have those two. I can't handle any more than two social media accounts.
Okay.
So those two right
Just one
here.
or the other, guys.
One,
And
or
if
you can
you
do both.
if you yeah, you can do both, but if you get stuck and you need to reach her, you can always go through SKST Radio, and you'll be
Mhm.
able to find her information. I'm gonna post her. This video will be on our site, and it'll have her information, so that way you can get in touch with her. Because as you know, she is a writer. She has a book club. She is a movie director. She's an actress. What don't this lady do, right? She's in theater. She's just phenomenal. And that's why she's here today. So, International Women's Day, we're going out with a bang because we got all
Woo!
these good women. And look at this lady right here. So, I love it. I love you, Tammy. Thank
I
you
love
so much
you.
for being on the show. And
Thank
we
you
will
for
see
having me.
everybody next week. All right.
Bye.
Bye.